Oh, my people. Did you hear what just happened? The US has banned visas for Burkina Faso, all because the West African nation said no to a US deportation deal. It doesn't get more serious than this, does it? According to Burkina Faso's foreign minister, the US quietly reached out to Burkina Faso a few weeks ago with what they called a migration arrangement. And the demand was for them to take in deportees. Now, not just Burkina based citizens, but also foreign nationals from other countries. And they said, absolutely not. We will not be your dumping ground. The foreign minister said, quote, naturally, this proposal, which we deemed indecent at the time, is totally contrary to the value of dignity, which is part of the very essence of the vision of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, end quote. And the US, well, they didn't like that response. So within days, the US Embassy in Ouagadougou suspended all visa services. If you're a Burkina based citizen trying to travel, study, or visit family in the US, you now have to go to Togo just to apply. So they shut their doors, punished travelers, and sent a message: you defy us, we will make it hurt. Now, what Burkina Faso just did matters because while other African countries, from Ghana, surprisingly, to Rwanda are cutting deals, they just drew a line in the sand. And when we talk about power, right, most people think of armies, money, or influence. But sometimes power is simply the ability to say no and mean it. But perhaps the real question we should all be asking is, what would happen if Africa had a unified response? Right now, Burkina Faso is standing alone, fighting alone in a continent of 54 nations. But here's the twist. Right now, Trump is also after Africa's critical minerals. He needs Africa more than he admits. So imagine if we stood together and said, you want our minerals? Fine, but you don't get to ban us. You don't get to deport us. You don't get to dictate to us. That's leverage. And honestly, that's the kind of collective confidence Africa has never truly used. So let me know in the comments, did Burkina Faso do the right thing? Do you think the continent should unite and refuse US deportation deals, even if it costs aid and visas and whatever else may come? Let's talk about it and watch my full breakdown of this story on YouTube, Panagenius TV.
So, Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has turned down an invitation from President Trump. Now, this is a first because usually African leaders are falling over themselves to get an invitation to go to United States of America on a state visit. But Traoré said that no, he was busy with building projects and other things that he was busy doing. Now, Trump is said to have been very upset because, obviously, to him, this is not giving him enough respect. And of course, we know Donald Trump, he demands that he be given the respect he thinks he deserves. And not only that, but Traoré has also banned Western media from his country because he said that his country needs privacy. That his country needs privacy. Like, bam! His country needs privacy. Like, this guy, like, he is the best. He should become the president of the United States of Africa. Isn't he the best leader that we need in Africa? We don't need all these puppets running around and bowing to imperialists and whatever. But Traoré?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rica's Tech. Today we are talking about a story that blowing up on TikTok and social media right now. According to a viral post, Burkina Faso leader Ibrahim Traoré allegedly refused a request linked to Donald Trump, President of United States, and soon after the United States reportedly placed a visa restriction on Burkina Faso. But the big question is it the real diplomacy or social media exaggeration? Let's break it down together.
The world needs to pay attention to who this man is, because he is inspiring an African revolution against the West right now. This is 37-year-old Ibrahim Traoré. He is the second youngest head of state in the world right now, and what his supporters say he represents is simple: African independence.
Major breaking news: Ibrahim Traoré, the Lion of Africa, has done the unthinkable. He has completely banned the American citizens from visiting Burkina Faso. This is after the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, went ahead and banned Burkina Faso completely from entering the United States. And Ibrahim Traoré, the Lion of Africa, has decided to reciprocate that tit for tat is a fair game. You ban us, we ban you. Whereby he has gone ahead and actually suspended issuing visas to the American citizens who are willing to visit Burkina Faso. You won't believe this. Let me tell you, it's not gonna be business as usual. This happened a few days after Mali President Assimi Goïta went ahead and actually banned the American citizens from entering the United States. You won't believe the Sahel nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and others were categorized as high-risked nations to be visited by Donald J. Trump. And now these Sahel revolutionary leaders have decided to reciprocate that tit for tat is a fair game. You do us, we do you. And that's how everything should be done across Africa.
Burkina Faso has firmly rejected a proposal from the United States to accept migrants deported under President Donald Trump's renewed immigration crackdown. The plan involves sending migrants to third countries with which they have no ties. But Burkina Faso's Foreign Minister, Karamoko Jean-Marie Traoré, called the offer indecent and contrary to the principle of dignity. He declared, "Burkina Faso is a land of dignity. We are a destination, not a place of expulsion." His remarks came shortly after the U.S. Embassy in Ouagadougou suspended most visa services and redirected Burkinabe applicants to Togo. The minister questioned the move, asking, "Is this a way to put pressure on us? Is this blackmail?" Whatever it is, Burkina Faso is a place of dignity, not a dumping ground. Meanwhile, reports suggest that several African countries, including Ghana, Rwanda, Uganda, Eswatini, and South Sudan, have already agreed to accept U.S. deportees as part of the deal. Now here's my take. Burkina Faso's position deserves respect. Why should African nations keep accepting migrants who have no roots, no family, and no connection to their land? How does it make sense to receive people simply because they are African? This is not partnership, this is pressure. The same countries that exploit Africa's minerals, dictate our economies, and interfere in our politics now want to turn Africa into a dumping site for their deportations. And when Burkina Faso said no, they paused visas as if to punish them for choosing dignity. Let's be honest. If other African nations keep saying yes to such arrangements, what does that say about how much value we place on our sovereignty and identity? Burkina Faso stood tall and said no. The question is, will others have that same courage? Now to you watching, what do you think? Should African governments accept these US deportation deals in the name of diplomacy, or should they follow Burkina Faso's example and defend their national dignity and African pride?
Here it is what is being claimed online. Several viral videos say that Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso, refused to accept or reject invitation connected to Mr. Donald Trump, and the US reported by banning restriction visa on Burkinabe citizen. Now let's slow this down. First, visa bans don't happen overnight because of one refusal or one invitation. When the US imposes visa restrictions, it's usually tied to security, concern, diplomatic, tension, immigration, cooperation issues, stuff like that. So, in terms of policy and disagreement. Second, there is no official public statement from the US government confirming a total visa ban, especially because of Trump or deportees. Most of these claims are coming from TikTok creators and edited the clips, not official press briefing. That said, it is true that Burkina Faso military's government has taken strong anti-West, people countries, and the relation with the US and France has been intense. Visa restriction and diplomatic pressure are often used as political tools, not punishment for one single event. So what we are seeing online linked mixed with real tension and exaggerated storytelling. But when you see in real mirror, now the president Ibrahim Traoré is the one who's now not accepting any offer from different countries like Saudi, France, US, because he knows when they give you something, they are always asking a bigger that will even make your people to survive. So Ibrahim Traoré decide not to follow any order from Western countries so that he can at least build his country in right way. The way African wants African leader is like the way Ibrahim Traoré is doing it to his people. We still have another clips. Let's watch them. I'll come back with a comment.
Hello, my friends. Y'all, there is so much happening in Africa right now simultaneously. I don't even know where to start. Let's go to West Africa, shall we? Let's go to Burkina Faso, the land of the upright man, the land of the captain of all captains, His Excellency, the one and only, Le Capitaine Ibrahim Traoré. I'm sure you guys know by now that the U.S. proposed that Burkina Faso accept people being deported from the U.S., right? So not just Burkinabe citizens, but just random people from random countries in the world. So the U.S. wants Burkina Faso to accept those people. So the captain was like, go play with somebody else. Don't come play with me with that nonsense. What do you mean I should take people that are being deported from your country? Remember, the Trump administration said that they were deporting gangsters and bad people, so you want those bad people to not come to my country, right? The captain said, hell no. So Burkina Faso's foreign minister, Karamo Jean-Marie Traoré, called this proposal completely indecent and incompatible with the country's idea of dignity. The U.S. Embassy in Ouagadougou suspended many visa services, redirecting applications to Togo. So if you are a Burkinabe trying to travel to the U.S., you will not be able to get your visa, while in Ouagadougou you have to go to Togo. The U.S. has agreements with some African countries where those countries will accept people being deported from the U.S. This falls under a third country deportation scheme. Let me know what you guys think about this, because this is wild. Like, my brain cannot process this. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
This dude is the man. This dude is the man. This dude is the man. In the same week, this man, Ibrahim Traoré, said no to Trumpy, Saudi Arabia, and Air France. In the same week, Trumpy invited Captain Ibrahim Traoré to come to the US and have a meeting with him. He said no. Not only that, he said no. He said, and I quote, no, I'm busy building my country. Elite. And Trumpy got mad. He said that was disrespectful and he was going to put sanctions on Burkina Faso. Yo, this dude is the man. This dude is the man. Saudi Arabia approached him. They wanted to build 200 mosques in Burkina Faso. He said, and I quote, he said, no, our people can pray anywhere. If the people in Gaza can still pray while they're getting bombed, our people in Burkina Faso can also pray. We don't need mosques. He said, we do not need mosques. We need schools, we need hospitals, we need companies, we need businesses, we need industries, but we do not need mosques. Elite, elite. This dude is the man. This dude is the man. A few weeks ago, maybe a month, Air France said that they would not send the planes in Burkina Faso because Burkina Faso was a red zone, right? And Captain Ibrahim Traoré said, okay, if you're not going to send your planes here, that's fine. All these other companies are sending their planes here. And you are saying that our country is a red zone. No problem. Fast forward this week, Air France got in contact with Ibrahim Traoré, and this time they're like, we would like to send our planes in Burkina Faso moving forward. And he said, and I quote again, before you start sending your planes over here, make sure that you tell the rest of the world that Burkina Faso is not a red zone. Tell them that Burkina Faso is a green zone before you can start sending your planes over here, because you were the ones putting that in the press that we were a red zone. No problem. You want to send your planes over here? Cool. But you got to make sure that you tell the rest of the world that Burkina Faso is a green zone from now on. Elite. This dude is the man. Meanwhile, the president of Congo is over here begging Donald Trump for help. I'm so embarrassed.
I don't know if you have heard the speech by Ibrahim Traoré that has shocked the entire Africa. This is what Ibrahim Traoré said. When you go to the Western nations or even the Western embassies and you tell them that you have technology and they see that the technology is going to help them, the first question that they ask you is for you to leave your country and to go to those Western nations, and then they are going to fund you and ensure that you carry out that technology. But if you say that you want to develop it for your country, they are not going to fund you. This is why Ibrahim Traoré is starting an initiative in Burkina Faso in which they are going to fund the people in Burkina Faso if they come up with technology. Ibrahim Traoré said that the only thing the Western nations want to fund is when you come with an invention that is supporting your culture. They want to fund things that are not related to technology or even development of African nations. Ibrahim Traoré is saying that they no longer want those sponsorships that are supporting the cultures because they are the owners of that culture. They can continue with their culture. If you want to help the people in Africa, give them the money to develop technology in Africa. And that is basically what the government in Burkina Faso wants to start to do. To fund the Burkinabe people to expand technology that is going to change the industrial, economic, and also militarily entire Burkina Faso.
All right, guys, Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso is having issues with the United States of America. The United States of America allegedly wanted to try to deport some refugees into Burkina Faso and asked Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso to accept his own share of refugees into Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso replied allegedly to the United States that Burkina Faso is not a dumping ground for refugees, that he's going to use everything in his power to defend Burkina Faso and the entire Africa. Guys, because of this, allegedly the United States has now visa banned Burkina Faso from traveling to the United States of America. And Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso is now asking the United States Embassy to be shut down that is in Burkina Faso. Guys, do you think Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso should have accepted these refugees into Burkina Faso in order for Burkina Faso not to be visa banned from coming to America? Let us know what you think in the comment section.
This is why on Rika's Take we don't just repeat headlines, questions. Africa is changing, reader like Ibrahim Traoré are changing old power dynamics and makes global politics very sensitive. But until you see official document or statements, story like this should be treated as viral claims, not confirmed fact. What do you think? Is it the US is using visa policies as pressure, or is social media turning into complex diplomacy, into clickbait? Guys, what do you think? Drop your thought in the comments. If you like balanced Africa, preservative president like that, make sure you subscribe to Rika's Take. I will see you in the next one. This is why on Rika's Take we don't just repeat headlines, questions. Africa is changing, reader like Ibrahim Traoré are changing old power dynamics and makes global politics very sensitive. But until you see official document or statements, story like this should be treated as viral claims, not confirmed fact. What do you think? Is it the US is using visa policies as pressure, or is social media turning into complex diplomacy, into clickbait. Guys, what do you think? Drop your thought in the comments. If you like Balance Africa preservative president like that, make sure you subscribe to Rica's Take. I will see you in the next one.